What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's Filthiest Pitches of the Day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. Be a part of the biggest pitching community on YouTube. And now, without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Justin Steele, who had 5 Ks in 6 innings, and had this wicked back foot slider. Here's a slider fastball overlay, and you can see what makes his slider so tough and how well he tunnels that slider with his fastball. Edward Cabrera had 7 Ks in 4 innings. He did take advantage of a pretty big zone here, but still had filthy sliders and curveballs, including this Juan Soto approved breaking ball. Soto is very impressed. Dylan Cease had these nasty sliders, including this White Castle special. And here's an overlay of Cease's slider with his 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and you can see what makes his slider so unhittable. It looks just like that fastball and then dives out of the swing path. Cease only had 4 Ks in 5 innings, which is low for him, and did give up 3 runs. His ERA on this season, 2.09. For all you pitchers out there, here's Dylan Cease describing his slider grip to me.
So we got kind of the two-seam, part of the ball right here. My fingertips aren't on the laces. They're sort of off to the side, but like the middle of my fingers on the laces.
So a little one-seam type thing, kind of.
Yeah, kind of one seam. And then my thumb's kind of here on the bottom. I'm not thinking like pressure or anything. I'm kind of just gripping it relaxed and loose. And there's a little bit of space right here. And then the rest of it's just kind of resting in my hands. So with the slider, I just relax my arm and throw it like a fastball.
Cease was up against Justin Verlander, who had 5 strikeouts in 7 innings, giving up 3 runs and raising his ERA to 1.95. He had this 6 slider and, amazingly, hit 99 miles an hour on his 99th pitch. Incredibly, he threw his age. No, just kidding. He's 39, not 99. Come on. Jose Suarez had these nasty 2-seam and 4-seam changeups on his way to 5 strikeouts in 5 1/3 innings, but he was outdueled by Robbie Ray, who was fantastic. Ray had 10 Ks in 6 innings, mostly on these vicious sliders, but had his fastball working as well. You can see what makes Ray so tough to hit as he turns his shoulders to the hitter, adding to his deception. Jeffrey Springs had these nasty changeups on his way to 4 strikeouts in 5 innings. His ERA this year, 2.52. Brandon Woodruff was throwing flames and had 8 Ks in 4 2/3 innings. He was up against Ryan Pepio, who had 6 Ks, including this changeup sword. Nick Pivetta was outstanding, going 7 innings, giving up no runs and only 1 hit with 6 strikeouts, and had his knuckle curve, his slider, and fastball all working. Jacob Junis had these disgusting sliders on his way to 7 strikeouts in 7 innings and gave up only 1 run, yet he was outdueled by Merrill Kelly, who also had 7 Ks in 7 scoreless innings. And check out Kelly's 2-seamer and changeup. He lowered his ERA this year to 2.81, an under-the-radar ace. Dean Kramer had this nasty changeup against Vlad Jr. and this fastball. He had 6 Ks in 7 innings and outdueled Alek Manoah, who had 7 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, but did have this filthy stuff. Zach Greinke showcased these slow curveballs on his way to 5 strikeouts in 6 innings, giving up 1 earned run. But he was outdueled by Sonny Gray, who was really good. Gray had 10 strikeouts, including these beautiful 2-seamers, and had these mean breaking balls and got a sword. Here are a couple of overlays of Gray's 2-seamer and breaking ball, and you can see why this is so tough on hitters. Gray is a master at having his breaking ball start out looking like a strike and ending up a ball, while starting his 2-seamer well off the plate and catching the zone. Kyle Gibson had 11 Ks in 6 innings, using his changeups, curveballs, and sliders. He also got this literal punch-out on Jonathan India. But my filthiest starter of the day was Charlie effin' Morton. Charlie Morton had 12 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings, giving up no runs and only 3 hits. He caught the Mets looking at fastballs and got them whiffing at his vicious knuckle curves. And I did this overlay of his fastball and curveball to Vogelbach, and you can see why you might take that fastball. Vogelbach was already kicking himself for swinging at that curveball out of the zone, so when that fastball looked kind of like that curveball, he took it, but the fastball catches the zone. This is part of the chess match of pitching. To be honest, my filthiest starter of the day was actually Mike Soroka, who had 8 Ks through the first 3 innings of his rehab assignment. And take a look at this 92-mile-an-hour turbo sinker. That is amazing, and peak Mike Soroka, who said his sinker was as good as ever.
The nice part is the sinker's honestly the best it's ever been. So
now on to my filthiest relievers. Jason Adam had this nasty slider and changeup. Jose Alvarado had this 100-mile-an-hour paint and this furious 94-mile-an-hour cutter. Felix Bautista had this filth. Pete Fairbanks had this rocket fuel. Ryan Helsley had a 101-mile-an-hour heater. The human glitch Jimmy Herget had these parachuting curveballs as well as this nasty changeup. Andres Munoz had this 100-mile-an-hour fastball and mean sliders. Devin Williams had these sick airbenders. And Liam Hendriks had this dirty slider to get the save and then lost his mind as Liam always does. My filthiest pitches from a reliever yesterday were these sliders from Nick Sandlin. Filthy. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. This play by Nolan Arenado was absolutely nuts, both figuratively and literally on this tag. What is up, Ninja Nation? My picks of the day today are a same-game parlay. I'm going to go with Michael Kopech for 6 Ks or more. It looked like he got his swagger back last game. And Framber Valdez for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?